I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and what a delight for us to have with us today Chuck Dixon. He's one of the co-authors of an incredible book called The Clinton Cash, a graphic novel. There it is, a picture of it there on the screen. Chuck has over 25 years experience in graphic novel field as an editor and a writer and a publisher. And this whole book is pretty fascinating, taken from the bestseller Clinton Cash as well. Chuck, good to see you. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So what made you guys take the other book, Schweitzer's book, and turn it into a graphic novel?
Well, the idea was to reach a broader audience, and it was born in the mind of Brett Smith, my collaborator on the book, and he's kind of the godfather of the project. And we thought that a graphic novel or a comic book version of Peter Schweitzer's book would reach a larger audience. People may be curious about the book who weren't going to pick it up and read it because it's 250 pages of dense prose, but they might give a comic book a chance.
Yeah, well, it's working, right?
Yes, it is. It's doing very, very well sales-wise.
What kind of response you getting?
We were #1 in graphic novels on the New York Times bestseller list 3 weeks in a row. We were #5 in all books on Amazon. We were right up there behind Harry Potter for a couple of days. And every time we do an interview like this, we shoot up the charts again. So thank you very much for having me.
Well, again, by the way, folks, you can go to ClintonCashGraphicEdition.com is the website. ClintonCashGraphicEdition.com. Well, the whole story, Chuck, about the Clinton Cash debacle, and more evidence coming out daily now with WikiLeaks, is pretty incredible. As you were converting this to a graphic novel, what was going on inside your own head and your own heart about the issue here?
Well, I thought I couldn't be surprised by anything the Clintons ever did, but this book was surprising. I mean, the depth of their corruption is even more appalling than I thought, and their willingness to sell out our economy, our security, and our safety for a couple of bucks is just astounding.
How connected is it? We're seeing more and more now that even maybe the State Department was involved with the FBI, but more important, foreign leaders buying influence. Obviously, it's true, right?
Yeah, I mean, she signed waivers so that Rosatom, the Russian government agency that controls their nuclear weapons and nuclear power, so that they could mine for uranium inside the United States. They now have 20% of the uranium holdings inside of our country. And that's all due to waivers. And the Clinton Foundation, in return, got $145 million donated.
You know, one of the staggering thing is, how do you become a multi-millionaire, almost a quarter of a billionaire, being on the public payroll?
I could ask that almost anyone in Congress. How do they make this money? And it's all, it's obviously open bribery. It's not even a conspiracy. It's being done right in front of our eyes. And apparently there is no legal authority willing to go after any of these people.
One of the other things was the speaking fees for Bill Clinton. How extravagant were they, and how convenient were they?
They would go up and down in relationship to her power. When she was a senator, they went up. When she was running for president the first time, they went up. When she was Secretary of State, they skyrocketed. Bill was getting up to $500,000 for a 20-minute speech in countries he had never been to before, but coincidentally had business in front of the State Department. And these speaking fees were paid just before Hillary Clinton signed legislation or pushed through legislation or signed waivers or lifted sanctions against the countries that Bill Clinton was going to visit. So there's an obvious pay for play, either that or it's the most cosmic coincidence of all time, over and over and over again.
Why do you think we can't pin this down? I mean, it's still floating around out there. You've done a great job. Schweitzer's done a great job. The media kind of ignores it, but it is so obvious. But what is the grease that keeps us from being stuck to the wall?
I guess the Clintons just have something on everybody. They got a file on everybody to protect them. I mean, I never thought I'd ever see the Federal Bureau of Investigation compromised in the way that it's been compromised. We also have an incurious media. You know, they're not. They're corrupt and incurious. They don't seem to want to look into this, even though it's low-hanging fruit. I mean, the story's there. Pulitzer Prize-winning stories galore here of corruption and pay for play and quid pro quo, and yet they're not presenting it to the American public because that's what would bring the pressure to bear. But the American public can't bring pressure to bear if they don't know.
Yeah. You know, there's another part of this, Chuck, that's interesting. The very nature of what you do through graphic novels keeps it a little bit on the light side or full of levity. But at the same time, this is extremely serious. How did you balance this in your own heart?
Well, the laughs that are in the book are dark laughs. I mean, you're basically laughing because what else can I do? You know, we juxtapose some of these things, and you know, ridicule is an awesome weapon against the powerful. They don't like to be ridiculed. They don't mind being questioned or contradicted. But when you ridicule them, that gets under their skin, and it also sticks in people's minds. Those panels and pictures and everything inside the book, they're indelible once you've seen them.
Any other surprises? I understand there were some issues with the Keystone Pipeline. There might even be some relatives down the food chain that are benefiting from the Clintons. Anything there that surprised you?
Yeah, Hillary's brother, who has never been in the mining business, has this like monopoly on mining gold in Haiti, of all places. That he was simply awarded. But and then the stunning amount of taxpayer dollars that were used as startup funds for Clinton pals to get into mining and get into oil, get into agriculture, get into shipping, things like that. Businesses they had never been in before because they were either politicians or lawyers.
What about the pipeline?
She kept waffling back and forth. An enormous Canadian bank nearly went bankrupt, contributing money to the Clintons and investing in the pipeline at the same time. But in the end, Obama sort of skunked her on that one by tabling it. But the Clintons made millions off of it, while Hillary waffled. She was basically waiting for those final payments before she brought it down. But she'll certainly pass it as president. Which is maybe one good thing she's going to do as president, even though she says now she's against it. But, she's already bought and paid for on that subject. You
got to wonder, what are we in for if this isn't brought to justice and she becomes president? You ever thought of that?
Yeah, we're into her selling off our country yard by yard like it's carpeting. That's what we're in for, because she's bought and paid for by a lot of foreign entities, a lot of big business, Wall Street, Canadian mining firms, telecom companies from Ireland. I mean, they've all paid their money and they're going to expect results. And right now, there's a fire sale going on at the Clinton Foundation because she says that if she's elected, the Clinton Foundation won't accept any donations anymore from foreign donors. So that's just a fire sale. They're getting their money in now to have the influence later.
Amazing. Well, let me say to our viewers and our listeners, you can go to ClintonCashGraphicEdition.com and check this out. This is the Clinton Cash, a graphic novel. I have a picture of it there on the screen. And you may want to get a copy of this. It's pretty alarming. And just have it, read it and watch it. I think what Chuck and his partner have done here made it easy to digest because it is a lot of stuff. Chuck, thank you, my friend. I don't know, are you guys working on anything else?
Yeah, we got some other projects lined up in this vein, and I just completed a graphic novel for the United States Navy that I think you'll enjoy. So we're busy.
All right, look forward to it. We'll have you back, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, see you. All right, there he is, Chuck Dixon. Again, you can go to ClintonCashGraphicEdition.com. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.